What's going on, everybody? It's YA BOYRD Vetis, and today we playing that THJ. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a simple Veeshan run, and I'm just gonna show you like how efficient we can get this, because a lot of people are like, "Oh man, it takes 4 hours to clear to do a clear of NToV." That's not the case. So first thing I want to show you is this is where your waypoint is, right here, right next to the Temple of Veeshan. Here's the zone in for Temple of Veeshan. You don't need any flagging whatsoever to get into NToV, so just come on over. My stats are going to be a little bit ridiculous. You definitely do not need anywhere near these stats to do this clear, but obviously anytime you can get higher stats, the better. So, come in. I always check the map just to see if there's any open world stuff up. And they're not. They're down. And we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this a little bit, okay? So, let me just point something out. Now, my build is a suggestion. I'm not saying my build is best in slot. It's missing a couple of pieces, but it's a very, very good, very close to best in slot build. And let me just point something out real quick, okay? And I would say the one thing I want to say is the Cuirass. Is that how you say it? Okay, so this mask is pretty much best in slot. It's very, very similar to the Mask of Silver Eyes. Obviously, the legendary version is much better than what I'm showing you. So it's kind of pick your poison. They're very comparable. I might even lean closer to the Aerr than I do the Silver Eyes, but I'm all about that spell damage. I'm not. Let's see. And then the what is it? Hobart's helm. Show you that one real quick. Thank you. Yeah. So this. Let's see. And he actually doesn't. Wait, are these is that enchanted and legendary? Okay, so this is a little bit higher on the spell damage, which is all we care about for this build. But I would actually do a Cuirass. So Cuirass is best in slot. Hobart's Warhelm. This is also more or less best in slot. The runner-up being Crown of Ryle. So the spell damage is much higher on this. So, but the AC is much higher on this. So, I don't know. I actually think I would lean towards Crown of Ryle. I think I would keep Crown of Ryle. So, Solace Rings, Aerr. This is the necklace. Arms. Bracer. Gloves. Am I missing anything? And then this robe is actually gonna be best in slot once it's legendary. It has like 50 in spell damage and heal amount, so it's definitely best in slot. All of these items. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of your items, 9 of your best in slot items drop off Vulaak, Aerr, or Carafern. Period. Okay. And I don't know. Let me see. I wonder if there's a mech clears. Ooh, did I freeze? Yeah, it crashed. It happens. Jump back in. I'm definitely gonna have another cup of coffee, but not yet. I want to look at the McClear's boots, but I think they don't have like jack shit for. And I have a pair. I think I'm just gonna put it on my monk, paladin, berserker. I'm still trying to decide. So I have a warrior necro druid, and I have a paladin monk berserker, and I don't know which one I want to like go balls deep in next. No homo. But whichever one is the one that I'm gonna like give the main amount of my new gear to. Okay. Okay. We're back in. What the frick were we talking about? Okay. But all these pieces, that's what it was. Mac Boots of Silence? Is that what they are? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the comparison. And you have to ignore like the extra 30 AC from this and the legendary +4 from this, right? So this would actually be 30 AC. So these would beat them by 50. There's like no hit points or mana on these, and there's no spell damage or heal amount. It does have a boatload of dexterity, heroic dex, which is super, super good for like rangers, rogues, headshots, that kind of stuff. Rogue, headshot, and assassinate. So to me, these boots are not best in slot. White dragon scale boots are what you're gonna want for sure. And then I'm not really sure what I would do for pants. Let me actually. Don't worry. You can always skip ahead to the clear. And then armor. And let's just see which ones go for the most. So Curious Greaves of the Risen. Cleric only. Let's do spell damage. Let's just see. Spell damage. Look. Highest spell damage. Shiny Metallic Pantaloons. So these might actually be your best in slot. Because you got 30. And again, I have a 30 AC in here. And 2 spell damage. So this would be 14, 40. And this could be 50, 80 AC if we went double up on the armor, and 30 spell. It's tough. It might. I think I'd go either way. I think I could go either way. I do like the resists. The AC's higher. Because even without this, it's still what? Math hurts. 20 AC more. So kind of 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other for the legs. But my point is, just killing Vulaak, which is super easy, can basically get you all of your best in slot. And anything that it can't get you, you can either sell or trade the items you do get to get the items that you can't get from here. So you can basically get best in slot without even killing Carafirm. The one thing that Carafirm has is this, and the legendary version of this is super insane. So you can at least gear out just by clearing NToV over and over, to the point that you can do Carafirm. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put on all of our spells, or our songs, which is Rizona's Fire, Shield of Songs, Niv's Nilipus's March of the Wii, Elemental Rhymes, Lucia's, and amplification. So we just run straight to R&R, and we kill R&R. The other thing I'd recommend for this is I actually generally will put on the Trident of the Deep Sea over anything else for this clear. Just the what do you call it? This right here. See that? Waves of the Deep. Crushes your target with a wave of water, causes an initial 20 damage, and then, causing 20 damage every 6 seconds for 2 minutes 30 seconds. This thing, for me, with the spell damage I have, crits for 1,116. So it's not a small amount of damage. It's actually very good when it crits. I think without the crit, it's like 300. It's 289, so just shy of 300. And here's what we're going to do. So after the dot's on, I could, if I want to be super try hard, I could then switch back to my Wizard Epic. I could actually do both Wizard Epics if I'm tanky enough, which I probably am most of the time, and just maximize my spell damage. And then as always, I'm just life tap, life spike, boastful bellow, and every time that I fight a new dragon, I'll hit Dance of Blades and Bladed Song. And since we're on the first dragon, I'm actually just gonna use a handful of my not all of them, but a handful of my stuff just to speed it up. And then I'll save quite a bit of my big boy damage stuff for when I go and fight Lord Them or VM or however you say it. Just something of note, Funeral Dirge does the most damage the closer it is to not being up anymore. So once it's down to like 20, 15, 10 seconds, the damage that it amplifies becomes higher and higher. So if I were to wait to use like Arm Touch or Leech Touch or something like that, I'd want to wait until closer to the end of Funeral Dirge before I applied that thing. Alright, so then he dies. We loot him. We try to loot him. Sure, whatever. Actually, I haven't seen Dementing Visions yet. And then we just run off. Fade. And we can just spam fade here. Just fade, 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 fade. And now we're just fighting Vulaak and 2 other dragons. And we don't care about 2 other dragons. So again, we might just get a dot applied. We might actually just do 2 dots. So I have a Sword of the Shissar as well. And I want this for, so you can see it says target is immune to the stun portion. Oh, I think that's for my boastful bellow actually. So we're looking to see if he's immune to the slow. He's not. So Waves of the Deep lands. Switch this to the front. And we're just trying to see if we can land a Envenom Breath. And he resisted it. And he might just be super resistant to poison. Usually all of the lords and ladies are super resistant to one thing or the other. For instance, Lord VM is basically immune to magic, which is super annoying. But it's the only dragon that does that, which is obviously super, super, super annoying for us because that means he can't be life tapped. He can't be life spiked. So, but we'll talk about that fight when we get to it. So I don't think we're going to be able to land the Envenomed, in which case, let's just not even worry about it. What we can do is do Avatar. Avatar is a huge buff. It's already on. And if you didn't see it, our AC shot up, our hit points shot up, our attack shot up, our mitigation shot up. So the avatar buff, I mean, like by a lot. It like things shoot up by like 2 or 300. It's a lot. You can see my spell damage is almost 600, just shy of 600. So make sure that you're using your avatar buff because it's not a small buff. It's a very, very large buff. If you don't know how to, like, if you're super new, you can buy these in the bazaar now. They drop like candy. They drop off like every single mob, like 5 of them in Sleeper's Tomb, and it procs Avatar. So there you go. I wonder if actually like the legendary versions proc reset prismatic. Do the legendaries do feral? No, that'd be cool. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if it's legendary or not. And I should have hit Dance of Blades and Bladed Song, but I get talking and I forget to do stuff. So that will definitely speed up your clear if you're doing that. Just FYI. The reason I'm not using my bandolier is because it really like it's kind of buggy. So it bugs out quite a bit. Okay, so now we run over to Dagons. We're just kind of going in a circle, and then for him we'll go ahead and Dance of Blades, Bladed Song. Again, we could hit some more discs if we wanted to. Maybe I'll do a Song of Stone. I wonder what the cooldown of this is. 9-10 minutes. And Call of Zuzo. What's the cooldown on that? Oh, 15 on the sword. Okay. And then making sure that we have all of our other buffs. Like I'm missing my spider poison. This is actually a huge DPS. Make sure you're going to the bazaar buying the spider bite potion, because that it crits for like 4 or 5k or something like that. We'll see if we can see a critical hit of that. Look at that blade whirl damage though. It's crazy. Oh, he's just resisting my spider bite, which is whatever. That's fine. Okay, he's dead. This is the guy that drops the Bow of the Destroyer, which he just dropped once. Sweet. And now we'll just fade. He pulls us in. Great. Now it's just him and 2 others. We can do that. Let's look at the cacophony. 15-minute. Is there anything else? Let's do Unholy. This makes your life taps like hit for max damage or something like that. So probably just hit Prolonged Destruction as well. $15. Just looking at a lot of these timers. Look at that damage. Shroud of Death Strike 5,000. So this little Shroud of Death is hitting for 6,000. Exceptional Heal 8,000. Exceptional Heal 16,000. Life taps are hitting for 3K. Both for Velo just hit for almost 11,000. It's crazy. And he's resisting all my spider bite stuff too. What a dick. It's gonna be real painful deleting my robe of the Aerr Sky, but honestly, good riddance. I don't care. Touch of the Cursed, almost 7,000 damage. Oh, this build does some crazy, crazy damage. I'm excited to see the Paladin Berserker Monk. I think that's the one I'm going to go balls deep on next, because I've been kind of disappointed with the Warrior Necro Druid when it comes to raid boss fights. It seems like, I don't know, maybe I just don't have the gear. I definitely have the AA. I have like 2,000 AA on him. So, I don't know. I think I want to mess around on the Paladin Berserker Monk. Maybe I just suck with the Warrior Druid Necro, so I'm gonna ask, see which one has done it. Warneck has for sure. I just grab everything, delete it later. Like, I know that Dagarn's tail for sure. Oh, there's See, mine just runs out of mana super fast, which is super weird. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try some stuff on the Warrior Druid Necro. Alright. So again, we're just running in. We'll fade all this crap off. You can see, like, fade takes, like, no mana. And then I like to pull these Guardians back a little bit. Kind of drag them around the corner. And then as soon as I'm around the corner, fade them. And then we just fight all three of these at the same time. Just pull them back here. We'll just fight all three. And again, hit some discs. Maybe I should just do the Warrior Necro Druid. Oh god. So I keep crashing myself by doing Bazaar. That's what I'm doing. That's annoying. So sometimes when I open the Bazaar, it doesn't do anything. And sometimes it does, clearly. Oh, I love looking at the Bazaar, though. I love looking at the items. Oh well. I'll just try to refrain from doing that anymore during this video. It is what it is, boys and girls. I bet I'm still alive. I wonder if my dude, like, kept fighting without me. Yeah. Cool. Oh, we killed one. So, not even that bad. Not even that bad. That's funny. One of these dudes likes to knock me out. Chaotic. Not sure which one does that. If I could ever figure it out, that's the one I'm going to kill first. How do I get to Yellowneck? Did I lose any buffs? I guess I could do my Nature's Melody. Vulaak did Lay on Hands. Well, for very much though. It's kind of funny. Alright, dead. So when this video is done, let's just cut off like 15 minutes because I think I was kind of jacking around for 10 or 15 minutes. Let's just take off like 10 or 15 minutes, and then that's the time that it takes to the potential of how quickly we can clear NToV. But I did want to show like a lot of people are, and myself included, like first time I did this clear, I was clearing all of the trash and it took forever. And if you can skip the trash, skip the trash. Definitely want to skip the trash. I think my next video is going to be Bristlebane. Another Bristlebane attempt. I tried him yesterday, like with like the gear that I have now. So very geared, very AA'd, and I got him to 30%, and then I just kind of ran out of discs and stuff to stay alive. He's no joke. This is the dragon that drops the Shield of Midnight. I'd be honestly happy to give away this legendary. To me, it's best in slot. Not everybody's gonna agree. Alright, so once again, we're going to spam our and then kill Lady Nevidaria first. And I've been saving Funeral Dirge for this girl because she's super annoying. See the stun? She's just tearing. Oh, you know what? We got knocked out of the game, so we have to reapply our songs. So hopefully maybe we'll resist some of these with 613 magic resist. What is that about, Jack? You hear something? Go check, baby. Go check. What is it? My dog is acting a little weird. But he has like a shock collar, which I was against. Now that I brought it up, I have to talk about it a little bit. Oh crap, I didn't do the Funeral Dirge in time. What I wanted to do was Frenzied, Twin Cast, Volatile Mana Blaze. which the Mana Blaze hit for 38,000. And you can see like I'm completely out of mana now, so now I'll just Drizzle's Harvest. And we have enough mana regen that will actually gain mana, spamming only the life tap, life spike, so it doesn't matter that we did that. Anyways, so he's got a Shock Collar. And originally I was against it, but it's actually really, really cool. So what it does, it doesn't shock the dog. It does, but it doesn't. If he barks, what happens is it beeps. So it's in the sense like it's the same as if you were with him and you're like, hey, like, knock it off, like what you would be doing anyway. So it kind of scares him. And that alone stopped him from barking. Like he doesn't bark. So he just like he barked like 2 or 3 times, and when he did, it beeped at him, and that scared him, and that stopped him from barking. But if he were to have continued to bark, it vibrates. So that again, it like if he barks, it beeps, and then if he barks again, it vibrates, and then that kind of scares him too, where he's like he doesn't like that when he barks. Now, if those first 2 things don't work, which they did, the beeping just straight up worked. So I don't think he's ever been shocked, but for this one, you can adjust the shock. So we put it on the absolute lowest setting. Actually, we put it on the absolute highest setting, and then everybody in the house had to try it to know how it felt. So me and all the kids and my wife, we all shocked ourselves on the highest setting, and it wasn't that bad. It's more like it's a shock. It's like whoa. It's like, what the heck is that? More than it didn't really hurt. It more like scared you than it hurt you. But then we put it on the lowest setting, the setting that we put for the dog, and it's just kind of like, again, like it doesn't hurt at all. So even if he did get shocked, it doesn't even hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. We all tried it. The lowest setting is super, like, almost nothing. Like, you know it happened, but it's basically nothing. It's kind of like if someone tapped you. Like, they're just, like, if they tapped you. But again, I don't think he's ever been shocked, because just the beeping alone was enough for him to be like, all right, I'm not barking. But he'll still let us know, if there's somebody at the door or whatever. Like he'll kind of do like a really low growl, or not growl, but a low bark. Of course, I'll do an impression for you guys, but it's like you know what I mean? So it's like not annoying. It doesn't drive anybody crazy, but it's enough to be like, hey, something's happening. And if he gets excited enough, he just won't give a crap. Like when the kids play, he wants to play. He gets really excited when the kids play. They got a bouncy house for Christmas. It actually wasn't bad. It was only like $200 or $300. It actually fits in the house. It's not huge. It's not too tall for that. So it's actually really cool. And in the bottom of it, you can put water in it. So we'll do that in the summer. It'll be like a little pool. It's really cool. I mean, I had my doubts. I really didn't want to get. I'm like, I don't want a fucking bouncy house. But we got it. It's awesome. The kids love it. The problem is the dog also loves it. He wants to play on it, but obviously, with his claws and teeth. I mean, I can't trust. I think he'll pop it. Like, it's thick plastic, but he could get through it if he wanted to. The dude gets through like thick ass bones, like crazy thick bones. Every toy we've ever given him is just torn to shreds. He's playing with one right now. Thanks, Jack. I'm sure everybody wants to hear your little squeaking. But it's just torn to shreds. Everything he gets his hands on is just torn to shreds. I'm just reading OC, and they're saying EverQuest causes dementia. And then somebody else said, like, it keeps him from getting dementia. I don't know. So again, like, you could speed up this clear if you're Stop, Jack. Go on. He's beeping that right in my ear. He wants me to throw it for him. Alright. Ooh, double silver chains. Does Face Smasher have a proc on it? I'd like to get the Palladius two-hander just for fun. Alright, so everybody says Warrior Necro has cleared Kara Firm. And I'll be honest, that makes me not want to play it. So by the way, this guy right here, he's like Thylex of Veeshan. Don't touch him, don't hail him, don't do anything. Hey! Stupid sheep. He walks by the cat, and the cat always attacks him. I didn't even know the cat was there. It scared the crap out of me. Anyways, what I was saying is do not attack that. That is the trigger for Vulaak Aerr. So you don't want to, if he dies, you don't get Vulaak Aerr to spawn, which is the whole purpose of doing this clear, is to kill Vulaak. So, and as you can see, like, even though the actual fight of Carafirm takes like 15 minutes, it's way faster to farm gear off of Carafirm than it is to come here, clear everything to get to Vulaak. But, you know, that's part of the game. A lot of people, and I posted this in the theory crafting, and I think I came off as like some people took it personally, which, you know, maybe like that's okay. You could take it personally. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah. If you want to take it personally, you can. Like, but the truth hurts. It seems to me like a lot of people are trying to. They just want to know what build is gonna make their life the easiest for clearing content solo. And nobody wants to hear that the truth, at least my experience so far, because I think the SK Bard Wizard is probably a top 10 build. I would wager. I think like the top, if I had to think about what's like the top 5 builds, it would be Warrior, Beast, Cleric, SK Bard Enchanter, SK Bard Wizard, and I'm not saying this is the order that it's in. I do think Warrior, Beast Lord, Cleric is number 1. If I had to absolutely guess what I think is the number 1 build. But I don't know. Maybe there's a build that's just, you know, hasn't, people aren't sure, like a sleeper build somewhere that we just don't know how good it is yet. I'm not sure. But everybody wants like they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want this build, a build that's just gonna makes their life super easy, and if they play that build, they're automatically just gonna just tear through content like it's nothing, instantly kill Carafirm, and just move on with their life, right? But that's not the case. That is not how this server is. The server is very well built from what I can tell so far. Like my experiences, it's very well built, like surprisingly well built. The Faradar fight and the Carafirm fight, they were not easy fights. I think they were very, very, very well done. I might actually just harm touch this guy or something because I am tanking a lot of mobs. I think actually what I'll do is I'll put on a shield. But the truth of the matter is you're gonna have to grind the AAs out. You're going to have to grind the gear. You're not gonna go and clear Carafirm like I cleared Carafirm, or even like right now. You're probably not gonna be able to tank a raid mob plus like 8 other mobs or 6 or however many that is. all at the same time to make this clear as fast as I'm making it, because you don't have the gear or the OGs or the AA that I have. You have to grind these things, you guys. Now that being said, you could quote unquote pay to win, right? You could buy EOMs, sell the EOMs for like 1,500 a piece or 2,000 a piece, whatever they are now, and just go buy this gear. And then you could pay for a power level. I know some people are doing power levels for money. I don't understand it. I would never do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I did improve twin cast. Because I mean, I like to play the game, but that's not for everybody. Some people, you know, they want other people to play for. They just want to have a powerful character, whatever. Enjoy the game however you want. Don't take what I'm saying like I'm like, oh, there's only one way to enjoy this game. That's definitely not the case. People enjoy this game from many different perspectives and lenses and approaches, and that's totally fine. This is an approach. I'm showing you my approach to the game, which is just hard work. It's just grinding it. But like, I feel like I'm gonna have to use like a death dance or something for this fight. Okay, we're getting a couple of ads, which is fine. Yeah, there, I'm gonna use it. Oh, we can use those. We can use that. I don't really want to use. I'm trying to save a bunch of discs for Lord Vim because he died. Like, it's not that he's hard; he's just annoying, and he kind of dies really slowly. So he's a pretty annoying fight. But I'm gonna show you guys how to do him as fast as possible. So just bear with me on that. I'd like to save my deflection disc if I can here. So basically, once you clear all the lords and ladies, Vulaak spawns. That's how it works. I'm just looking at my discs right now. I'm just wondering, like, am I gonna have to use something else? Really? If I use anything, it's gonna be deflection disc. But hopefully, we can just kill him. Come on, crits. Oh, there's a crit. Thank God. That was probably like a soul. Can we loot? Okay, just a million orbs of the sea. Cool. Alright, so now we'll walk out of here. We're just going to fade until we don't really have much else on us. Fade. And fade, fade, fade. And then we're on Vim. And we want to be over here. And deflection. And hopefully it's on because I'm almost dead. Okay, so we want to do deflection. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my VM spells. So the VM spells are primarily fire. We really want fire-based spells for him. And then we're just going to put on double spell damage. And I'm surprised I actually don't have occlusion of sound here. I think I'm going to have to update this. But what I would do is, actually, we might be able to just, did we get it? We did, yay. Okay, so we'll do, I'm gonna move these mobs over here so I'm not getting hit in the back. Not that it really matters. But now, so we'll do occlusion of sound. And then we'll do Tuyin's Chant of Flame. This is also a fire resist debuff. And then we'll apply Boil Blood and Heat Blood. Cool, they all landed. And now we'll just use our Boastful Bellow on cooldown. We'll Funeral Dirge. And you see when we get low, this is all we do, we just back up. And then we life spike one of the ads. Life tap, life spike until we're full health again, and then go back up to VM. And then we'll do, let's see what the timer is on this. Funeral Dirge is 33. So we're trying to time this to where it's going to be like our maximum amount of damage. Oh, and I should be running 2-inch Chant of Flame again. So that's my bad. So Occlusion of Sound. 2-inch Chant of Flame. Oh, okay. So now we want to do Frenzy Devastation, Harm Touch. Oops. Harm Touch. Leech Touch. And I'm just kind of hitting my other stuff. And now Occlusion of Sound. 2-inch Chant. Blood Boil. Heat Blood. And then we'll get back to full life. So these are just dudes that we tap for life, right? And then 2-inch Chant of Flame. We'll just leave that running. And the fire dots are kind of where most of your damage are coming from. So I know it's kind of a pain, but this is one of those fights where you're just going to have to keep getting those dots applied. Heal up. Back on Lord VM. Boastful Bellow. And reapply our dots. This is probably the last time we'll have to reapply. And actually, these dots are still on. So we'll just do 2-inch Chant of Flame. You can see we're getting lowish on health. Maybe we'll just do Leech Curse. Cool, and he's dead. And we're full life. Now Vulaak Aerr's up. We'll loot his corpse. And now we'll go kill Vulaak Aerr. And I think I'm going to mute myself. I don't know how loud the kids playing on the bouncy house is going to be, but it feels like it's going to be pretty loud.